It's off.
They say glasses make you look smart. Joke's on them, I'm still failing maths. Like, come on, I failed an eye test where the answers were right in front of me in big, bold letters. I'll never forget the first day of secondary school for me. When I first entered the room, all eyes were pinning me down like daggers. A couple of people looked me up and down with my thick frame glasses and my low ponytail, wondering where this nerd came from. As I said in the beginning, many people think just because I wear glasses, I'm smart. I didn't need to hear their conversations to know that I was already labeled at first sight. People see one thing about you, and then they decide your whole
Your mom
identity
and my
before you can
parents.
say, what was it again? Say, for teens. Apparently, we're all phone obsessed, allergic to exercising, and
off.
probably can't survive without TikTok or Wi-Fi. Okay, maybe that Wi-Fi part is true, but get my point. These oversimplifications rarely capture the truth about who we are. Stereotypes can seem harmless or even humorous, but the truth is, they have real-life consequences. It often limits how other people see us and how we see ourselves as a whole. The most common ones, let me refresh your memory, such as boys, don't cry, be tough, girls, don't overreact, you'll make things worse, and for teens in general, stop being sensitive, it's not that serious. We have grown up hearing these phrases been thrown around like it's no big deal, because these commonly used phrases often mean no harm. And not just for teens, adults, young children, we all feel trapped by these labels and are more likely to experience anxiety or even suicidal thoughts. Yep, that is a human being hurting because someone silenced their story. Take, for instance, Anne Frank. As a young girl in hiding during World War II, she loved to write. But the stereotype in her society was that children's voices, well, they don't matter in history. Yet she spent 2 years documenting her fears, dreams, and hopes inside a secret annex. She died at just 15, but her words survived, and the Diary of Anne Frank is now read by millions around the world. Instead of being silenced by war, this made her louder. Her words became one of the most powerful testaments of resilience and hope. Anne Frank's story matters because it shows us the strength from a child's perspective. Even when she was trapped and powerless, her voice challenged the idea that only adults can shape history. And that same silenced voice became one of the most significant ones. Nowadays, however, 70% of teens feel like they can't share their mental health struggles because they're afraid they'll be judged. Imagine that. 7 out of 10 of your friends keeping quiet about depression or panic attacks because they don't want to be called dramatic. Now, I'd like to ask you all the question, and I want you to be truthful with me here. Have you ever heard the saying that goes, firstborn children are usually more intelligent than their younger siblings? If I could have a raise of hands, please. Wow, not many of you here, but yeah. Being the younger sibling, I think I've experienced that more than anyone else. Now, these statements, they don't just float around, they stick. It makes younger siblings think they'll never catch up, or the older siblings feel like they have to live up to those impossible expectations being thrown on their head, and they are now a certified burden. Instead of accepting these labels, we should start rethinking them, seeing everyone as someone who can grow in their own way, not as a walking stereotype. Now, enough about all that. How can we not just break stereotypes, but reshape them? Let's start with something simple, something manageable, something anyone can do any time of the day. Empathy, a very commonly used word, I know, and I think half of you here are probably sick of hearing that all day, basically in all of your lives. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. How many times have you heard the saying that Asians are supposed to be really good at maths? Yeah, it sounds like a compliment at first, but it puts way too much pressure on someone who might enjoy art, music, or anything else. Disclaimer, not everyone wants to be the human calculator of their classroom. Think before you speak. Again, this links to empathy. Call out the stereotypes when you hear them. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be aggressive. Just pause, question, or joke. Say, if someone says, boys don't cry, hit them with, my friend just cried from watching Mufasa's death, and he's 18. Don't stop him, okay? A very lame statement, I know, but just this once, try to take it as a real-life example. The key here is pause, question, and give a real-life example. It doesn't have to be mean. It just makes people think, maybe that's not true. And once you start, others will follow. And with kids, it's even more important because you are surrounded by kids everywhere you go. Those annoying cousins at home always begging for your iPad, or the ones on the streets always begging their moms to buy them some sort of candy. Kids often copy what they see, not what they're told. And if some of you here are teachers, you won't understand what I mean by this. Now, if kids keep seeing the same things, like mom's always cooking or dad's always fixing cars, they start to believe that's the rule because it's constantly being drilled into their minds. To conclude, let me leave you with this. Feeling stressed, anxious, sad, that's normal. That's human. Because mental health, it's not failure, it's life. And if you've ever been labeled, judged, or boxed in, a victim of stereotype like me, let me tell you, you can reclaim your story. Because in the end, it's you who are writing it. You are the one that picks up that pen. Because sharing struggles is courage, opening up its strength, and reshaping stereotypes, that starts with us. Thank you.